They say some spirits die angry, and some never die at all. In the autumn of 1871, deep in the hunting grounds of the Kiowa, a white man came to kill buffalo but ended up hunted by something older than bullets. This is not just a tale of blood and beasts. It's a story of guilt, honor, vengeance, and the monster we become when we forget who we are. If you're brave enough, join us for the terrifying legend of the Buffalo Hunter. And if the darkness doesn't swallow you first, remember to like this video, subscribe for more chilling stories, and never ride alone at night. The story begins. The wind carried whispers across the prairie. The year was 1871. The buffalo were dying, not from nature, but from greed. Dozens of hide hunters, most from the east, came riding through Kiowa and Comanche land, rifles slung over their shoulders, eyes glazed with profit. They didn't care about the herds. They didn't care about the people who had lived in harmony with those herds for centuries. They only cared about the market. And none were deadlier or more feared than Elias Grigg. Elias was a tall, stone-faced man with a Confederate rifle, a tattered coat, and no family but his horse. He had once fought in the war and lost everything. Killing buffalo was how he numbed the screams at night. He hunted with silence, precision, and a kind of detached fury. The Kiowa called him Red Crow. Not because of his red beard, but because the ground turned red wherever he rode. But this isn't Elias's story. Not entirely. A stranger in the dark. One dusk, Elias rode alone near the Washita River, his saddlebags heavy with fresh hides. He had made camp in an abandoned trading post, a skeleton of wood and shadow. He stoked a fire, pulled a bottle from his bag, and sat down. That's when he saw him. Sitting across the fire. Silent. Pale. Watching. He hadn't heard footsteps. No creaking wood. Just there. A man. Or what looked like one. Black hair braided down his back. Eyes black as coal and too still. His clothes were old buckskin, Kiowa style, but dustless, untouched by time. "You're in my land," the stranger said. Elias reached slowly for his rifle. "Ain't no one's land anymore." The stranger smiled. His teeth were sharp. Too sharp. "You took their herds. Now I take you." Before Elias could react, the fire exploded in wind and the stranger was gone. But from the corner of his eye, in the shadows, something moved. The next morning, Elias found his horse ripped open. Not eaten, emptied. No tracks. No blood trail. Just dry earth and the rising dread in his chest. He walked for 2 days toward Fort Supply, the nearest outpost. But something followed. He saw it in trees, behind rocks, just out of reach. Not a man. Not quite an animal. He thought he was the predator. But now, he was prey. On the third day, dehydrated and delirious, Elias collapsed near a small creek. When he woke, he was in a teepee. A woman knelt beside him. Strong. Weathered. Gray braids down her shoulders. Her name was Tala. She was Kiowa. The last of her village. She did not speak much at first, but her eyes were tired. She knew who he was. "You brought him back," she said. "Who?" "The Night Walker. The one our grandfathers buried with silver and fire. You opened his grave when you killed the herd above it." Elias's hands shook. "I didn't mean. You never do. But now the land remembers." Tala told him of a warrior named Tsa'tokah, once a protector, who turned when the white men came, bitten by something in the dark. He fed on buffalo blood, until he fed on his own. Cursed by the spirits, he was buried beneath the sacred hunting hill. Until Elias's bullet cracked open the earth. Tala did not forgive Elias. But she saw in him a soul already broken, one that might still serve a purpose. If you want to live, if you want redemption, you must become the hunter of the hunter. She led him to a sacred forge, hidden in stone. Together, they shaped new bullets from melted silver crosses and Kiowa medicine tokens. Elias carved a mark into each one, a crow, dripping red. They waited for the blood moon. That night, the wind howled like it remembered every buffalo scream. They rode together, Elias and Tala, into the hollow plains. Tsa'tokah rose from the shadows like smoke. Eyes burning. Fangs glistening. He moved like fog, struck like lightning. Tala held him off with chants, bones, fire. But she was old. Weary. Elias stepped forward. No longer hiding from war. No longer hiding from guilt. You want me, he yelled. You've got me. They fought in the old Wade blade bullet. Elias fired all 6 silver rounds. 3 missed. 2 struck. The last bullet hit Tsa'tokah in the heart. He screamed, not in pain, but in memory. A scream that sounded like a dying herd. A scream that shook the land. And then, silence. The land began to heal. Grass returned to the hills. The buffalo, slowly, quietly, came back. Elias buried the broken rifle and lived the rest of his days with the Kiowa, under a new name. Crow who watches. He never hunted again. He told the children stories. Of spirits. Of guilt. Of honor. And sometimes, when the wind blew just right, you could hear his voice whisper. The land remembers. But it forgives, if you fight for it. If you felt that. If this story haunted you or touched your heart. Like this video. Subscribe for more forgotten tales and horror legends. And always remember. Some monsters come with teeth. Others come with regret. But the ones we carry in our soul. Those are the ones worth fighting.